For Braddon.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Whilst the member for Murray is delighted to speak on this matter, it gives me no pleasure, because this government is failing to protect vulnerable Australians, whether it's freezing the Medicare rebate, cutting pensions or targeting the wrong people for false debts through the government's robo-debt mess. This is a government with no heart. And whilst the minister can't even be bothered to sit here and listen to this, I tell you what, I've got some doozies for him. If he was to sit here and listen to some of these stories, he might actually sit back and think, finally, I should do something about this. My community are not leaners, as a former Liberal Treasurer would describe them, but are strong, resilient people who will work hard if given the opportunity. But you can imagine the disgust from so many in my community when this government issued notices of debt to them, notices we now know contain so many errors. People in my electorate are questioning the legitimacy of these notices now and the amount, but I tell you what, they are starting to feel like it is David versus Goliath. So many of them are just giving in and paying up because they cannot either have the time or the willpower to take on what is an arduous process to get these debts removed. So far, my office has assisted people to have their 3 people to have their debts reversed, totalling $16,581. One such person was Heather. Now, Heather is a single mother who's on New Start and works part-time. In December, right before Christmas, she received a letter from Centrelink stating she owed $7,200. She went to Centrelink and asked why. She finally got through and they said, if you do not enter into a payment plan, we will start deducting between $80 and $120 a week anyway. So being so close to Christmas, she had no choice but to enter into a payment plan of $15 a week. She went to Centrelink as another piece of advice to view her file, and in that file it was very clear that she had one employer, but this debt notice said that she did not report her earnings for 2 employers. She only had the one. The officer could see it was a mistake but would do nothing about it. She went through the appeal process. And finally, she even went to a Liberal senator's office who told her, oh, it's $15 a week, don't worry about it. You've now entered into that payment plan, so you've admitted liability. Now there's Jeff. Jeff contacted my office because he was actually quite distressed about getting a debt notice of $6,800. He also received an additional charge of $619.20 in debt recovery. He was so stressed that he had to go to see his GP. He did not want to try and reduce the payment plan that he entered into because he felt he had no other option, and in fact only left him with $461 per fortnight. But my office received a call yesterday from Jeff to say his debt has been reduced for over $6,800 to $286. My office has been working on behalf of 10 constituents to resolve their alleged debts totalling around $40,000. One such person is Erica. Her husband's been sent a debt letter. She acknowledges that they may have made some error in the reporting, but the debt letter alleges that he received income from an employer that he wasn't even working for at that time. It would be great if members opposite could actually stand in this place and defend their constituents. I'm sure you've had people come to your office. Actually stand up for them here today. This is your opportunity, and tell their stories, because that's what we're doing. Surely you can do the same. But it makes me question, is this government fraudulently and dishonestly obtaining funds from vulnerable Australians that I have outlined today, $16,000 of debt that is not owed by the people in my electorate so far? How much is being paid back because people feel helpless in taking on the fight when in fact they own nothing? The system is flawed. I call on the Tasmanian Liberal senators today to support Labor's move to establish a Senate inquiry into this absolute debacle. Honest people in my electorate are being attacked through no fault of their own, and the minister should spend his time trying to fix the mess he has created.